In television, spin-offs often feel like echoes, faint, familiar, and fatting. But Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2 has proven it's not just another rehash of young Sheldon's bygone years. Instead, it's a series discovering its own pulse, rhythm, and messy, beating heart. If Season 1 was about getting off the ground, Season 2 is about flying, with all the turbulent gusts, awkward turbulence, and surprising moments of breathtaking altitude that come with it. This is the season where Georgie and Mandy sheds its training wheels and tells the world, we're not just the postscript to a genius's childhood. We're the next chapter of a whole new story. From laugh track to life track. Gone are the whispered shadows of Sheldon's lectures or Mary's hovering judgments. This is East Texas through the lens of academic potential. It's life through the lens of two young people trying to build something resembling a home, a marriage, and a future. A teenage dad and a former beauty queen turned mom might not sound like the recipe for stability, but this show doesn't romanticize chaos. It honors it. And in Season 2, that chaos is richer, riskier, and more real. Georgie, still wonderfully portrayed by Montana Jordan, has grown beyond the dopey big brother caricature he once was. The show gives him space to wrestle with his immaturity, because even if you marry someone and raise a baby, that doesn't mean you magically become a man. Season 2 leans into that tension. We watch Georgie fumble through job pressure, identity crises, and the quiet fear that he might not be enough. It's refreshing, because his arc doesn't chase perfection, it chases truth. And Mandy, Emily Osment, oh Mandy. She might have started as the sarcastic foil to Georgie's naive charm, but this season allows her to shine in her own right. Her journey through postpartum depression, career confusion, and the creeping suspicion that she's lost a part of herself in this whirlwind of diapers and grocery bills is some of the finest writing this spin-off has offered. Mandy is not just a TV mom. She's a woman burning at both ends, and Osment delivers every moment with wit, warmth, and weary resilience. No more training wheels. Season 2 is structured like a family photo album where half the pages are missing, and the ones left are stained with coffee rings and toddler scribbles. We don't always get clean conclusions or Hallmark hugs. Instead, we get therapy sessions that go off the rails, in-laws who hover unhelpfully, and fights about laundry that reveal deeper fault lines. It's domestic and sometimes mundane, but never dull, because it's honest. What separates Season 2 from its predecessor and from young Sheldon is its courage to let go. Let go of the past. Let go of nostalgia. Let go of what fans expect. It's not afraid to tell stories that don't revolve around Sheldon's timeline or offer winking callbacks to the Big Bang Theory. It carves out its own tone, part dramedy, part slice of life, part Southern Gothic comedy. The setting still echoes the Cooper world we once knew, church potlucks, pastel wallpaper, and diner booths, but the focus has shifted. We're not listening for scientific breakthroughs, we're watching for emotional ones. When Georgie admits to his father he's scared he'll mess up everything he touches, it hits harder than any math equation ever did. When Mandy finally tells her mother she doesn't want to be her, the air practically crackles. A supporting cast that carries weight. One of Season 2's smartest moves is how it handles its ensemble. No longer just orbiting Sheldon's story, these characters finally get lives of their own. Meemaw Annie Potts is still the firecracker she always was, but now she's a grandmother balancing loneliness and overprotectiveness. George S.R., still gone but not forgotten, casts a gentle ghost over the story, not as a looming tragedy, but as a reminder that life doesn't pause for anyone. And Mary, she's no longer just the devout mother of a prodigy. She's the mother-in-law of a young couple whose choices make her squirm. Watching her wrestle with control, faith, and generational change is one of the show's most compelling arcs. She's often wrong, but rarely villainous, and that nuance matters. Even baby Cease, though technically wordless, plays a role in shaping the emotional landscape. The show smartly resists turning her into a gimmick. Instead, she's a reminder of time passing, of responsibilities growing, of how young and unprepared her parents truly are. Humor without a helmet. Let's talk comedy. Georgie and Mandy still delivers laughs, but it doesn't reach for them. It trusts them to emerge naturally from character and circumstance. There's a particularly brilliant episode in which Georgie tries to modernize their parenting approach after reading a trendy article, and chaos ensues when Cease develops a taste for avocado and then refuses anything else. It's hilarious because it's absurd and relatable. The humor doesn't need a laugh track because it earns its laughs with heart. It knows when to go light and when to let silence do the heavy lifting. And in those silences, we often find the show's soul. Breaking the sitcom mold. Season 2 takes more visual risks too. There are dream sequences that flirt with surrealism. One particularly striking cold open shows Mandy imagining her life had she never met Georgie, dressed in a power suit, alone in a high-rise, sipping wine in a spotless kitchen. It's glamorous, sterile, and empty. The scene fades out with Mandy staring at Cease in the real world, snotty, loud, and deeply alive. These moments give the show a sense of texture that young Sheldon often lacked. It's not just about what happens, it's about how it feels. And Georgie and Mandy feels like real life, scratched, stubborn, and strangely beautiful. Leaving young Sheldon in the rearview. What makes this season remarkable isn't just its execution, it's its ambition. It dares to say, "That was a great story, but now it's time for ours." And it's not just about Georgie maturing or Mandy finding herself, it's about a show maturing. A spin-off outgrowing its source material. A love story evolving in front of us, not in spite of its chaos, but because of it. As the season finale closes with Georgie quietly fixing a broken crib rail, not because someone asked, but because he noticed, it's hard not to get choked up. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's enough. And that's the lesson Season 2 leaves us with. Sometimes the grandest victories are the small ones. Not a Nobel Prize, not a valedictorian speech, but a repaired crib, a shared look. A quiet morning that, for once, doesn't end in tears. In leaving young Sheldon behind, Georgie and Mandy has found its voice. And it's one worth listening to.